Don't you know there ain't no devil, it's just God when he's drunk. Most people don't care if you're telling them the truth or if you're telling them a lie, as long as they're entertained by it. You find that out really fast. We are buried beneath the weight of information, which is being confused with knowledge. Quantity is being confused with abundance and wealth with happiness. I'd rather have a free bottle in front of me than a prefrontal lobotomy. If people are a little nervous about approaching you at the market, it's good. I'm not Chuckles the Clown, or Bozo. I don't cut the ribbon at the opening of markets. I don't stand next to the mayor. Hit your baseball into my yard, and you'll never see it again. Writing songs is like capturing birds without killing them. Sometimes you end up with nothing but a mouthful of feathers. When I was younger, I wanted to be older. Now I am older, I am not quite so sure. I'm so horny the crack of dawn, better watch out. Champagne for my real friends and real pain for my sham friends. I saw a crow building a nest. I was watching him very carefully. I was kind of stalking him and he was aware of it. And you know what they do when they become aware of someone stalking them? When they build a nest, which is a very vulnerable place to be, they build a decoy nest. It's just for you. Their memory's like a train. You can see it getting smaller as it pulls away, and the things you can't remember tell the things you can't forget. That history puts a saint in every dream. I have an audio stigmatism whereby I hear things wrong. I have audio illusions. The big print giveth and the small print taketh away. My reality needs imagination like a bulb needs a socket. My imagination needs reality like a blind man needs a cane. If you're in the middle of the ocean with no flippers and no life preserver and you hear a helicopter, this is music. You have to adjust to your needs at the moment. I used to imagine that making it in music, really making it in music, is if you're an old man going by a schoolyard and you hear children singing your songs, playing jump rope, or on the swings. That's the ultimate. You're in the culture. The sight of the first woman in the minimal two-piece was as explosive as the detonation of the atomic bomb by the US at Bikini Island in the Marshall Isles, hence the naming of the bikini. Oh, I got a beautiful 1959 Cadillac Coupe de Ville 4-door. No one will ride in it with me. If you record the sound of bacon in a frying pan and play it back, it sounds like the pops and cracks on an old 33 1/3 recording. Almost exactly like that. You could substitute it for that sound. The piano has been drinking, not me. I hate Disneyland. It primes our kids for Las Vegas. The blues is like a planet. It's an enormous topic. You can't ignore the impact that it has had and continues to have on the whole musical culture. It's a tree that everyone is swinging from. Without it, I don't know where I would be. It's indelible and indispensable. Don't look back, because someone might be gaining on you. What you want is for music to love you back. That's why you pay your dues. You want to feel like you belong and are part of this symbiosis, metamorphosis, whatever you want to call it. If you're a writer, you know that the stories don't come to you, you have to go looking for them. The old men in the lobby, that's where the stories were. I always liked the idea that America is a big facade. We are all insects crawling across on the shiny hood of a Cadillac. We're all looking at the wrapping, but we won't tear the wrapping to see what lies beneath. Any place is good for eavesdropping, if you know how to eavesdrop. When you're writing, you're conjuring. It's a ritual, and you need to be brave and respectful and sometimes get out of the way of whatever it is that you're inviting into the room. It's hard to win when you always lose. Mostly, I straddle reality and the imagination. My reality needs imagination like a bulb needs a socket. My imagination needs reality like a blind man needs a cane. I guess I've always lived upside down when I want things I can't have. George Burns was a vaudeville performer I particularly loved. You hope people are going to be listening to you after you're gone, and they like you better after you're gone. When you're a kid and you're trying to find your own voice, it's rather daunting to hear somebody like Howlin' Wolf, because you know that you'll never achieve that. But then I'm one of those guys that is still a bit afraid of the telephone, its implications for conversation. I still wonder if the jukebox might be the death of live music. I think all songs should have weather in them, names of towns and streets, and they should have a couple of sailors. I think those are just song prerequisites. I don't know if any genuine, meaningful change could ever result from a song. It's kind of like throwing peanuts at a gorilla. There's not much difference between what I appear to be on stage and what I am. I think people like that I'm not trying to pull a caper. Someday I'm gonna be gone and people will be listening to my songs and conjuring me up. In order for that to happen, you gotta put something of yourself in it. Songs really are like a form of time travel because they really have moved forward in a bubble. Everyone who's connected with it, the studio's gone, the musicians are gone, and the only thing that's left is this recording, which was only about a 3-minute period maybe 70 years ago. I didn't really want to be part of a clique or a niche, but I also was looking for my own voice, as a writer, you know, and a world I could call my own. I'm usually more concerned with how things sound than how they look on the page. Some people write for the page, and that's a whole other thing. I'm going for what it sounds like right away, so it may not even look good on the page. Most people don't care if you're telling them the truth or if you're telling them a lie, as long as they're entertained by it. I think I have an adrenaline addiction, no question about that. Sometimes words are just music themselves, like Chicago is a very musical sounding name. For a songwriter, you don't really go to songwriting school, you learn by listening to tunes, and you try to understand them and take them apart and see what they're made of, and wonder if you can make one, too. All records are riddles, and whatever you may want people to think it's about, it may just be throwing them off. And you don't want it to get in the way of what someone else's understanding is. It's not really about anything. At the same time, it will find some meaning. I don't like the word poetry, and I don't like poetry readings, and I usually don't like poets. I would much prefer describing myself and what I do as, I'm kind of a curator, and I'm kind of a night owl reporter. Most songs that aren't jump rope songs, or lullabies, are cautionary tales or goodbye songs and road songs. Any image I have, it's just what I do, but it comes off as being very pretentious. When you're a bit in the public astigmatism, anything you do seems like you did it so somebody would see you do it, like showing up at the right parties. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.